of the European Championships. We're halfway through this final with another 2 apparatus to come. We'll take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with the 3rd rotation. Stay with us for more gymnastics in just a short while on Eurosport. The atmosphere is getting tense and more so as this competition for the all-around European Championship in women's artistic gymnastics starts to take shape after 2 rotations. Gaugian leads, the silver medalist in the European Championships 2 years ago in Nantes, ahead of the 2 Russian girls. Kochetkova is lying in 3rd position. Kurkina is lying in the silver medal spot, and I have to say that Kurkina looks the more settled, seems to be enjoying her work and not letting the nerves get the better of her performance. But Gaugian has proved us wrong through the 1st and the 2nd round. It was our feeling here in the commentary box that she may let the nerves get the better of her. We're at the halfway point, and Monica, will Russia get the revenge on Romania after that team competition?
Well, I don't know. I still think that the nerves did get the better of Gaugian, but they didn't get the better of the judges. I mean, it was an under-par routine. I did anticipate, I thought she did an extra swing, but when I looked it back on slow motion, it wasn't an empty swing. But it was just a substandard routine for Gaugian. And I think that to come out with a 9.85 is a silly mark. They have the final say, but it's a free world. We can all have our little say, can't we?
Well, rotation number 3 of 4 gets underway. The judge's word is final, and looking to impress the panel is Dina Kochetkova of Russia. Her first of 2 vaults, lying in 3rd position.
Well, a little arm wave on the landing, but a couple of those would do her good. And whilst I'm on my cause of Gaugian's bar score, there's nothing more annoying to rival gymnasts to see somebody get over the odds for a routine. And if they've got a little bit of extra, then I think that will drag it out of them. Because nobody is more expert than a gymnast to see through mistakes on a routine. But even though she didn't move her feet, Kochetkova, throwing the arms around on the landing, just as bad a fault.
Well, 9.700. It was a bronze medal in the all-around competition 3 weeks ago at the Worlds in Brisbane in Australia. And they're a very focused and determined young lady looking to go one better in the Europeans in Sweden. Vault number 2 with the aggregate score to come.
Yes, and that's what she should have done twice. Nice vault, handspring, front 1.5, Barani out. And if she'd plopped on 2 like that, then the second one would have scored higher, because the judges are only human, and if they see 2 consistent vaults, 2 good vaults, the second one will just squeeze an extra 10th out of them. Pity about the first, but of course not the difficulty that Gaugian had, so she's not likely to get into the 9.8s, or not the high 9.8s anyway.
First position with a total of 29.349 and a 9.8. Well, a very impressive second vault, and as our expert pointed out in the commentary box here, consistency is the name of the game, and in the vault you do need 2. Well, lying in silver medal position after 2 rotations of the 4 in this finale is Svetlana Kurkina. 16 years of age, she qualified 3rd after the team competition where Russia took the silver, allowing Romania to take the gold. Kurkina now looking to overhaul Gina Gaugian with her teammate Kochetkova in 1st position. Kurkina, silver medalist in the asymmetric bars in the individual finals. So she should be brimming with confidence here.
Nice combination, lovely work. Feet and knees a wee bit slack, but technique lovely. Pull him back out, good exercise, yes. Markelov in the middle. she swings so easily and it looks so effortless despite her length. But that routine, there was just no comparison between that exercise and Gaugian's. Now, I just wonder what the judges are going to give that. I'd just like to see the two of them on video, side by side. The variety, the difference of skill, the quality of skill, the ease of swing, the straightness of the arms. It had so much more than Gaugian's. 1.5 pirouettes. Under somersault, straight into clear to handstand half turn. Nice work. Lovely straight arms on the lift. Little slack knee on the straddle in the giants, like so many gymnasts do, and they incur a penalty, but there wasn't a lot to deduct on that exercise.
9.8. Leader Gaugian scored in her asymmetric bar routine. Korkina looking to put Russia into first position. The pressure on the Romanian and also take the lead away from her teammates, and she does just that. 9.862. Well, the crowd feel that it was possibly worthy of a 9.9, but Korkina goes into first position. Kochetkova goes second, and we'll await the third performance of Gaugian, well, on the edge of our seats. Julia Stratmann of Germany with her beam exercise. It's the first time that we've seen this promising young German perform in this all-around competition. Julia, just 15 years of age, 16 next Friday, and also 19th position in the World Championships. So another youngster that's improving with every competition she enters.
Julia qualified for the beam finals in the World Championships in Brisbane. I can remember saying that it was a difficult debut, a final of a World Championship, but she would gain experience from it, and that experience has probably got her into the top 24 in this European Championship. Flick, layout. And just disguising the wobble. Oh, she's becoming quite a master of disguise. And this is really what it's all about, improvising through the errors. Trying to keep moving. The more flowing the exercise is, the less likely the gymnast is to wobble and lose balance. And the audience muttering now as the temperature goes up. Oh! Desperate cries there for her to stay on. And so far she's done really well to land all the skills. And triple twist, yes, well done, Julia. And that's a much better performance than she produced in the individual apparatus finals in Brisbane.
It really is wonderful to see how a youngster gets their first taste of world-class competition and then come back from the Worlds to the Europeans, and it's oh so easy now for Julia. And for those of you that followed us throughout the World Championships 3 weeks ago on Brisbane, well, we saw a completely different character. Nervous, very sheepish, frightened, and now she's smiling, happy, and almost a world-class performer. Definitely a star in the making for Germany there. Natalia Kalinina for the Ukraine, one of the more senior qualifiers to this all-around competition. Still the Russian girls in first and second position. Korkina and Kochetkova, with Gaugian, the leader, after 2 rotations, still to come in this third round.
Kalinina, the oldest competitor in this European Championship. 20 and lying in 5th position. Double layout. And already producing a quality of movement and a feel for movement far superior to many that we've seen. Pulling back out, rather low but fast. She really can move. And television, very deceiving. A lot of people might think she's quite heavy, but she's very, very slender in comparison to the very tiny children that we see compete against her. And I think this, the middle tumble, yes. Flick, whip, flick series into full in, back out. That the middle tumble. It was low and under-rotated. And the tumbling, the weakest aspect of her floor, but the dance, very good. And for Julia Stratman, a 9.662. Far better than her World Championship score of 8.8, I think she scored, with a fall in the middle and a sit down on the landing.
Fifth position for Julia as we follow the third round challenge of Jessica Andreasson of Sweden. Understandably, because these pictures are coming from the host broadcast of Sweden. But Jessica, well, she's had a very gutsy performance in the first two rounds. And, well, there's no prizes for guessing who the crowd are behind in this third rotation.
But this is the piece of all. Oh, no. I was just about to say, this is the piece on home territory where you really want to do well. And as I suspected it could have been a disaster. I think this is the end of her personal best. What a pity. The very time in her life where in front of her home crowd she would have liked it all to go well. Now, having got rid of her nerves, she's flowing freely. The anxiety of the moment with her home crowd probably produced a surge of adrenaline, and it's adrenaline that makes the nerves appear, because you really need to get rid of that surge to be calm and breathe evenly on the beam. But her pulse rate probably reached an all-time high, just as the judges said go. Well recovered. She certainly has to have 10 out of 10 for recovery, but it was just a pity because, as you said, Nick, she had a really gutsy first two pieces, and here she just didn't get it together. Placed her first foot badly.
We saw it in Brisbane, I was about to say, Monica, with the Australian girls, some very promising young stars, but just let the pressure of the crowd. It's good to see cheers, it's good to see support for the host nation, but it often adds that little bit of extra pressure, which here in Jessica's beam exercise just seemed to tip the balance.
Most certainly. It's the over-anxiety to please. Under normal circumstances, she'd have just thought about it and concentrated. Kalinina doing well, continuing her place, a fifth with 9.6 for that floor exercise.